Hello everyone, Mimikins here. Today's video is going to look at the LBG in the Monster Hunter Rise demo. The UI for LBG is clean and easy to follow. You can see bullets below your character's health bar as well as when you press ZL to aim with crosshairs. The Wyvern Mind Blasts are where you would expect, however next to the ammo you can see 4 new icons. The footprints indicate you can move while firing the ammo, the double green arrows show you can move while reloading. The downward arrow I think will be auto reload, but I wasn't able to test it in the demo. The 2 upward orange arrows indicate rapid fire. Each of these will highlight in colour if the option is available for the ammo type. This makes it really easy to see at first glance what the gun is capable of. In previous games you could only view this through opening up menus. Well, this wasn't an issue when you learnt the gun you were using. However, there are times when playing a new gun or in the arena you could fire off a shot only to realise it had terrible recoil, freezing your character on the spot long enough to suffer a serious hit. Although we can't directly see the gun in the demo, we have no way to tell what mods are available. We can see the types of ammos we will be getting in the crafting menu. Normal 1 to 3, level 1 doesn't show up here since it's the default ammo, piercing 1 to 3, spread 1 to 3 used for close range combat. This icon is much wider and no longer green. Shrapnel ammo is a new one. It covers a wide range. Who needs accuracy when you hit this much? Unfortunately this gun can't use it, so I was unable to test it out. Sticky level 1 to 3. Cluster bombs, these can actually now be used by light bowgun. It's similar to the heavy that you will need to crouch to fire them off. The various status ammos are available. Along with the usual elemental ammo. But we're also seeing a new type of elemental ammo that pierces. Unfortunately, we weren't able to experience it for the LBG in the demo. The dragon ammo still has a limited clip size similar to World. A little disappointed to see this, as I feel bowgun users need a more consistent way to deal dragon elemental damage. Slicing ammo, useful for cutting monster tails. Wyvern ammo, this was specific to HBG and World, and it's not clear if LBG can get it as well. After all, they do have access to cluster bombs now. LBG also has access to Wyvern Mind Blast, which you can lay in the standard way by pressing A and trigger these by causing damage either from your own attacks, other players, or the monster. In Rise you can actually launch these onto the monster using a silkbind attack. Fanning Vault uses 1 bar to vault you across by pressing R and A. While you're in the air you can press ZR to fire for some aerial combat. Press X to reload your current ammo, or A to fire a Wyvern Blast directly below you. The major benefit of this is you can attach the mine to the monster as well as skipping the animation you'd have on the ground. I haven't really been impressed with the aerial gunplay, it barely lasts any time. However, it was useful to fire off cluster bombs, which would otherwise require your character to crouch down and fire. In the demo we only had access to cluster bomb level 1s, which like in World don't deal as much damage as level 2 or 3, so it'll be nice to see how much damage this can deal when the game launches, and I may find myself using this ability more often. You also need to aim down the scope towards the monster in order to hit it, otherwise you just fire straight ahead. While this does look stylish, it didn't feel practical in terms of keeping up DPS. However, I did find it useful for evasive purposes, for example finding myself in a poor position such as backed up in a corner. I could use this ability to move to a more open space while attaching a mine to the monster. Once I was in this new position I could then attack the mine for good damage, and it was really fast to build up the silk for wyvern riding. The second silkbind glide costs 2 charges and is activated by pressing R and X, which surges your character forward. Pressing ZR will unleash a powerful close range severing attack. This effectively makes LBG capable of cutting tails, and you won't need to rely on slicing ammo, which not all guns can use. This move will also reload your ammo. One thing I'd like to point out is the additional blast from ZR causes your character to perform a long reload animation, which caught me off guard and led me to taking damage I'd have otherwise avoided. All the silkbind attached with your weapon drawn used the R button, since ZL is reserved for aiming with crosshairs. However, if you want to use the regular silkbind for movement while your weapon is sheathed, you press ZL and A or X, which is the same as the melee classes. This makes it feel less intuitive to use compared with other weapons, and slightly disorientating if you like to vary up your weapon choice. There is an option for Type 2 controls, but it puts abilities in other places, for example your Wyvern Mine on the ZR shoulder button. I think Capcom really need to get rid of these Type 1 or Type 2 button options and let players map their own custom layouts so they can use what feels comfortable. This wouldn't just make it more friendly for those of us who have a preference, but it's also an accessibility feature that many games have these days, and this just feels old-fashioned to me. The Nintendo Switch also comes with the option of using a gyroscope for aiming, which you can adjust the settings in the menu. This uses motion sensors in the control to aim the gun rather than using the stick. While I didn't enjoy it for general camera angles, aiming with the crosshairs felt smooth and precise. I think this is a very nice addition that everyone should check out to see if they like it for the gameplay. While you can't reload your gun while riding the Palamute, which was a feature I was hoping to see since Blade Masters can sharpen with whetstones, you can launch yourself into the air and execute a jumping reload, which will fill the current clip of your ammo. Another feature I found useful was being able to mark the locations of materials for ammo. For example, these latch berries for piercing ammo. I can select to only search for this, making it easier to restock and craft while on the field, as I can quickly press L and check if there's any nearby. Overall, most of the gameplay felt pretty similar to World. The gyroscope for aiming is something I think everyone should check out and is pretty fun to use. I like the feature of seeing the extra ammo properties at a glance. LBG is pretty much how I expected it to play, with some very nice extra quality of life features. Gameplay will be better when the game launches, as you will be able to carry both crafting materials and pick guns suited to the ammo type you wish to use. While I wasn't particularly impressed by the LBG silkbind attacks and prefer the original style combat, to me this feels like a case of style over substance. And I say that as a bowgun main for both heavy and light with thousands of hours clocked on both weapons alone. However, I did find them useful for building up silk in order to use wyvern riding and getting out of tight spots. Thanks for watching, please support the channel by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.